Hi, I'm Vivian. Welcome to my channel. I'm doing a series on my health. I am not a medical professional. I am only sharing what I've learned about me and hope that it may help anyone out there, help maybe you. And this is kind of I debated on saying something or not, but I think it's very important and it's got to be covered because it's too important to leave out. Bowel movements. Yeah, I said that. Bowel movements. And I'll share my history. I had difficulties I remember as a young child and through my teen and early adulthood, it was difficult for me to go to the bathroom. In fact, I would only go two or three times would be great in a week. And I never felt good when it's been over 24 hours that I've used the bathroom. And I even got in a habit of reading because I'd be straining. So I've got other issues. You know what I'm talking about. Women understand this, especially after having a baby. So in my late 20s, I tried laxatives. I would do laxatives. I think at one point I even had to do a suppository. It was that bad. None of those things are. You don't want to experience that. You don't. Even when the laxative works, it's never done comfortably. And you have to be careful when you take it, because if you're going to work or on a trip and you take a laxative, you don't know when it's going to hit. So you want to get your body to eliminate at least 2 times a day. 3 times a day is okay. Too much is not okay. You can definitely dehydrate, and there may be other issues, and you don't want it to be diarrhea. You don't want it to be loose when you go. You like this cup? It's a nice one. It's one of my favorite. So, you should be going twice a day. Now, trying different things. I try to find food remedies. I prefer not taking. If I can get rid of all my supplements that I take and have it through my diet of eating good food, that's my option. That's why I intend on growing the best garden and the best food I can. Because I don't want to be paying for all these pills. And a lot of times I question where they're making it, how it's coming. I cover that in some of the other videos. You don't want to have fish oil from the Pacific Ocean. You just don't want to. That's not safe. So you need to know a lot more, and you have to be able to trust the manufacturers. And just because what they're doing now is right, and I continue to use their product, 2 years from now, if I'm still using their product, I need to check back and see if they're still doing it the way I think, the way I need them to be doing it, and they hadn't changed. So back to constipation. In my late 20s, I discovered oat bran. I was never a fan of oatmeal. It's kind of slimy. Even though I like slimy food, I talk about eating squid and all sorts of other stuff, but oatmeal didn't really appeal to me before. And I found oat bran. I thought I'd give that a try. Bran, just looking for, excuse me. I used to live off of raisin bran. So, because that helped some, not completely. But oat bran, all of a sudden, when I was having oat bran every morning for breakfast, I was regular. I was having comfortable bowel movements. I didn't even get to read a short article. It was so fast. It's like, okay, all right, I can finish reading this outside the bathroom. That's a problem easily solved. No complaints. I wasn't complaining. So that really helped me get regular. And when things work right, and they hadn't before, and they all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, this is what it's like for it to be good. And then I did sparkpeople.com, and I was tracking all my I mean, everything I put into my mouth was tracked on that website, along with every activity I did to figure out what was going on. And I was shocked that someone like me eating I mean, had a lot of fresh produce, vegetables and fruits in my diet, and I was still short on the fiber count. And that was really eye-opening because I thought, well, I'm getting plenty of fiber. So I take a psyllium husk capsules. And the recommended dose is 5 of them. So that was in my morning supplement routine, and now that I'm doing intermittent fasting, and in the past week I switched it to after 2 o'clock, my supplements. So included the fiber they're like 2 calories each capsule, so it's 10 calories for all 5 capsules. So I was like, I don't want to get any calories in my body until 2 o'clock or later. So I moved that, and then that disrupted my normal 2 times a day routine, and I've not been happy. Now here's the thing, you have to stop and think, if you're only going to the bathroom 2 or 3 times a week, what's happening to that food after 24 hours in your system? None of it. You have already gotten whatever nutrition out of it by the time it reaches that point. It's down there in your colon, and it's sitting there partying with other stuff that you've already eaten the day before and since, and it's toxic. All of it's toxic. This is why it will smell so bad. This is why, anyway, you know, if you're experiencing it, I don't need to tell you the details. I just need to tell you, you got to get it fixed. I like using a psyllium husk. I'm experimenting with something else for my evening dosage. But I think once it's done, I'm going to just have 5 more psyllium husk things at night, at 7 o'clock. Water intake is also very important for good bowel movement and health. I know we all hear 8 ounces, so 64 ounces. I'm 180 pounds. 64 ounces is not enough to keep me hydrated. There's so much information that we're learning now about proper health, and it's just the tip of the iceberg, so it's an ongoing thing. But I'm 180 pounds. What you should do, whatever you weigh, half your pounds. So I'm 180, so 90 pounds. Now, that's how many ounces in ounces. So instead of saying pounds, it's now 90 ounces of liquid that I need to drink every day to keep myself hydrated. Now, yeah, soup, if I ate a very liquidy soup, and the bone broth is very, very, very good. You should, everyone should be drinking bone broth every chance they got, and cook with it every chance you get, instead of just water. That counts toward your ounces, but it's hard to figure that out. It's hard for me, when I eat a bowl of soup, how many ounces of liquid did I get? And I'm not going to count, I can figure out how many ounces, and then figure out how many times I have to refill this cup and drink from it to get my 90 ounces for the day. It's easier for me to put 90 ounces into a bottle and then replenish my glass from that bottle and know that I got my 90 ounces when the bottle's empty. Also, we don't want to be peeing and waking up to go pee in the middle of the night. So you want to stop at least 2 hours before you go to bed and make yourself void. That's a nice way. Urinate, pee, do number 1 before you lie down to go to sleep. So the getting a good fiber intake is important. It's better if you ate raw, fresh produce. Peaches does the trick, but you can't always get good peaches, especially this time of year. That always loosens me up nicely. Eating a lot of blueberries will do it to me too. And you need to find what works. The oat bran, if you can do raisin bran, find it that's not so sugary. There's also a bran cereal that was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I made myself eat that stuff. I did like oat bran was very good. I really enjoyed oat bran. That really helped. And the thing of having constipation, and I talk about this a little bit in food intolerance. You know, you're gonna, certain foods are gonna cause you to get very loose, and certain foods are gonna bind you up. You need to figure that out, and you need to find that happy medium. You need to go comfortably, at least once a day, twice a day preferably. But here's another eye opener. When I did a water only fast for 2 weeks, on the third day I had a bowel movement. That's, you know, at least 48 hours with no food at all, just water, no supplements, nothing, just water, and I had something come out. So that's not a comfortable feeling. I think it's important that that I, in particular, you know, make sure I do it, but you know, everyone needs to consider doing a fast and clearing out stuff completely. And you don't have to do it for 2 weeks. You know, just give your digestive tract a break. Yeah, you're going to be hungry. You're going to, a lot of hunger, what we think is hunger, is actually withdrawal symptoms. Just like, you know, if you're used to drinking coffee and you don't, that first morning it's going to hurt. You're going to have withdrawal symptoms. The hungers that a lot of times we get, and we're craving something we have normally, there's also an addictive quality to food intolerance. A lot of times we're addicted to the foods that our bodies can't process. So, I mean, I was jonesing for broccoli. You know, hey, that sounds healthy, but not if your body can't process it. It's not. So, that's something to think about and research on your own. I also use that little squatty potty, or I don't think that's the name of what I use, but you know, it goes right back on the toilet. It does make a difference to put yourself into a squatting position. It lines things up better. So that may be part of the issue that you're having, because the American style of sitting in a toilet is not the best way to use to eliminate everything. So consider doing that, and you can just rig up something for yourself. Just you don't stand on it, so when you sit down at the toilet, you get your feet raised up, you know, to where you're almost like if you were out in the woods and you had to squat to do your business. If that helps you, then definitely do that. Don't be worried about other people. When I show my bathroom videos, I'm trying to redo and reorganize, remodel my bathroom. You're going to see the bidet, and you're going to see the squatty thing, little step stool thing. I've been using this step stool so I can do some of the remodeling. But in American culture, there's a lot of things done the wrong way. Our parents did it. I would be just as uncomfortable having to squat over a hole if I went to Japan or some other country that didn't have the nice comfy thrones that we're used to here. But just because this is the way we've been doing it doesn't mean it's right. And that little squatty thing just it's not in the way. It just comes out, you put your feet up, and you get everything lined up to where it's unkinked. Maybe that's all you need. But again, like I said, you don't need stuff fermenting in you. You know, fermented foods are good. Fermented feces is not good, okay? That is just toxic. It's poison. It's poison, poison, poison. Just remember that, poison. The longer it's in you, the more toxic it gets. It doesn't get healthier. So, anyway, you don't have to tell me if you go twice a day or once a day, unless you want to. It doesn't, poop discussions were table talk in my family. That's another issue I probably need a video about, but it's part of life. And if you don't do it, you're going to be on the sicker scale than someone who does poop more regularly or properly, however you want to put it. Thanks for watching.